Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Juvia's Place Shade Sticks Multi-Purpose Foundation Stick. Now, I know Juvia's Place came out with a foundation before this one, but I didn't even bother with it because a lot of people were saying that it was matte. Even when I read the description, it said that it was matte, and you guys know I don't like matte, so I didn't even bother. Same with the concealers. I was seeing a lot of reviews saying that it was very drying, and I already have my select few concealers that I love, so I'm just going to be trying those on top of this. I will be doing a wear test today because I got a lot of shit to do, and so I'm going to be running around with this thing on the face. If you're new here or you enjoy my videos, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as usual, my disclaimer, if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of my mouth, so keep that in mind while you're watching. So if you guys are interested in seeing how the Juvia's Place Shade Stick Multi-Purpose Foundation Stick works, then just stay tuned. All right, yeah guys, as you can see, I have my brows done. I've already primed my face with all the good stuff. I usually use my NYX pore filler whenever I'm doing foundation reviews. Now let's go a little bit into this foundation. This retails for $16 and you get, let's see how much you actually get in here. You get 0.34 ounces. Now I only have two other stick foundations just because I'm not a really big stick foundation fan. I don't know why, because they're a lot easier to use, but I think it's the fact that there's not as much product in the stick foundations as there are pump foundations. Now in the pump foundations, there's usually 1 fluid ounce at least, and with stick foundations, it's a lot less. Now I have the Makeup Revolution and the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundations here. Now the Milani Conceal and Perfect has 0.46 ounces, and then I have the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick here, and this is 0.21 ounces. So the Juvia's Place is in between these two. Now I did get the shade Aberdeen. I actually went into Ulta and swatched this myself because I was not sure what shade I was gonna be. And I gotta say, you guys, the shade range is on fucking point. Like, the shades are so beautiful. I am happy to say that I am not the lightest shade for once in my life. I am actually the second lightest shade. The third shade was Lima, and that one was just way too yellow undertone, so I just decided to get what's in between the super lightest, palest shade and something that's like a little bit close. So I went with Aberdeen. All right, so let me go ahead and get into some information about this. This is a full coverage, natural and radiant finish multi-purpose foundation stick. It comes in 30 creamy and long-lasting sticks. Formulated to feel like skin, a weightless multi-purpose formula that glides on seamlessly to cover imperfections while giving full definition to face. This full coverage formula is infused with shea butter and oil controlling ingredients to aid in a long wear time while providing radiance to skin. Now, this is paraben-free, phthalate-free, sulfate-free, gluten-free, and of course, Juvia's Place is cruelty-free. So I am really excited to try this. I do have to say, though, the packaging is really, really cheapy feeling. Like, I mean, this is even cheaper feeling than the ColourPop foundation stick that I used to have. I actually got rid of it because I hated that foundation so much. I despised it. Got rid of it, but this is way like this is almost like makeup that you would find in Claire's type of plastic. Like, this is really, do you guys hear that? It's like really cheap plastic. Anyways, I am actually not going to be using a sponge. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but anytime I use stick foundations, I use a brush because a sponge always pulls and tugs on my face. Don't like that feeling. Also, I don't need wrinkles. All right, so I got my hair pulled back, my mirror all set up here, and I'm gonna be using my round top kabuki brush. This is the BS small one. It's the same one as the flat top one that I always use. It's just rounded out. So now I'm just going to, ooh, that is a very, oh, okay, it's warming up. The first initial one, I think it's because it's so fucking cold today. It's literally 22 degrees outside. I don't know where the hell that came from, but it was a little stiff. But as soon as you kind of like put it on your skin, it really warms up and it's gliding pretty smoothly. So I'm gonna put on this much for now because I don't know how far this is gonna go. I apologize beforehand for the lighting because the sun, I don't control the fucking sun, you guys. So sometimes it's gonna get bright, sometimes it's gonna get dark, but just hang in there with me. I might have actually been able to get away with the next shade up because this is hella white. Look at that. I look like a fucking ghost right now. Hopefully once I do the rest of my face, this will kind of blend in a lot more because this is white as hell. I have not gone back to my complete pasty self yet because I did get a lot of sun this summer. It's probably the first time I've ever gotten this much sun because I was actually able to wear like tank tops and stuff for the first time in my life. I have always struggled with acne, body acne, and so I had never worn any kind of tank tops or anything that showed my skin because it was embarrassing. All right, so that was the first initial like swipes on my face. This is definitely not full coverage at all whatsoever. Like this is maybe at the most medium coverage, maybe like low medium coverage. I'm hoping that you can build this up because it's just, it ain't looking cute. Now I'm not seeing it like super duper cling to dry patches, but I don't know, it's really, really weird. It's like on the verge of being dry, but not quite. So I'm gonna add, actually first I should probably add the rest of my face before I start going and adding layers. I feel like with this, you kind of really need to apply this like a lot so I can actually just massage it into the face. Yeah, this definitely would tug and pull if you were to use a sponge because it's already kind of tugging and pulling just with a foundation brush. I'm actually finding this not difficult to blend. It just feels, I don't know, it feels very, very drying. Like, I don't know what it is. This is just so stiff. I'm not saying that you have to like really drag it on your skin. No, it's just, it feels so stiff and it feels so drying. Like I don't feel like I look dewy or anything like that at all. If anything, I feel really dry and I'm just, I'm not liking the way that this feels on my face. I'm really not liking this foundation, straight up. Like I am just, this is a no. Like I don't even want to leave the house with this because it is so fucking drying. I don't mean to be so vulgar about it, but it is so drying. It is ridiculous right now. Like I can actually tell that it's like taking the moisture out of my skin. It's so weird. I just do not like this at all. I'm going to get a damp sponge here and see if there's any way I can like bring moisture back or something into this because this looks fucking terrible. I'm actually gonna pause the camera real quick and see if I can fuck with the lighting a little bit more because I feel like I'm really washed out and I want you guys to be able to see like what's going on my face. So I will be right back. So I was able to change the lighting a little bit, but as you can see, like look how different the shade is. I don't understand what's really going on because the shade below this is like white. I'm a little annoyed because I do have to leave the house. I have a doctor's appointment and I have shit to do today. I do not have time to have a shitty ass foundation on my face. It has been a very long time since I have tried a foundation that I have instantly just wanted to take off as soon as I put it on, and this is kind of like ranking up there right now. I'm gonna see if I can try to kind of bring it back by flattening it out, but this foundation, like I haven't even showed you guys, I haven't brought you guys up close to show you because it is just so terrible that it's not even worth showing. So I scooted you guys closer. Hopefully you guys can see this. If not, I'm sorry. Again, the lighting is just really, really bright outside, so you may not be able to. You can see all the texture on my face. Now, okay, let's get real here. Every face has texture. I don't care if you have the most flawless face. There is going to be texture there because you have pores, you have hair. Some of you may dermaplane, but you still have some kind of texture. Real skin has texture. And so when I say that I have a lot of texture, I mean this is emphasizing the pores. This is bringing out every little thing that you want to hide to the surface. And so to me, that's just like very counterproductive for a foundation to be doing because the whole point of foundation is to hide these things that you don't want people to see. So as you can see, it is definitely not full coverage. This is the side that I only did one layer. This side I did 2 layers and still it is not full coverage to me because I am seeing a lot of things peek through. But the fact that this is just, it is just making my pores look gigantic. And I mean, I always say that I have, you know, potholes for pores, but this just makes it look 10 times worse. Hopefully you guys can see, but it is a dry mess and my forehead has not really been this dry. You can see that the foundation has kind of just sucked the moisture out of my skin. I'm going to try to add another layer, and I'm gonna try to use a sponge this time just to see if it makes any difference in application, in texture, all that. I'm just going to directly apply it to the sponge. I actually do this quite a bit with my stick foundations to see if I can just, I don't know, like bring this back somehow. Okay, so weirdly enough, this foundation works better with a sponge, which is so strange because all the other ones, now of course I do use the round top kabuki brush all over my face, and then afterwards I go on with the sponge, but I've never had a foundation that looked that shitty with just a brush before the actual sponge. But most of the time the sponge will fix that problem, and so I'm really happy that it's kind of doing that right now. Not gonna lie, I feel a little bit like a dumb bitch because it looks so much better after I went in with the sponge and kind of flattened everything out. I do not recommend using a brush with this foundation, maybe to like, you know, get it all over your face, but definitely use a sponge afterwards. I will say though, this still looks like shit on my forehead because it looks so dry right here. So this part really bothers me already. As you can see, all the texture on my forehead. This hid my under eyes pretty well. I mean, you can still see the darkness there, but it did pretty good with hiding most of the darkness. Now, after I added another layer, I still cannot say this is full coverage because I do have my little marks peeking through, but I will say that this is very high medium coverage because I can't really see, like I can still see a little tight, like you really gotta look, but I can barely see any of like my tiny little acne scars that normally I can see through like medium coverage foundations. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some concealer because I really want to see how this blends out. I'm gonna be using my Conceal and Hydrate from Makeup Revolution because I've really been liking this, even though I should probably get a different shade because this is really not that much lighter than my foundations are. It's okay, but it looks like it's taking a little bit of the foundation off. Don't like that. I don't think anybody likes that. So I'm not really sure. I may have to use like a different concealer with this one. For some reason, it picked up a little bit of the foundation here on this side, but once I added a little bit more concealer, it was fine. Like it blended beautifully. And as you can see, my under eyes are a lot more concealed now. So I'm gonna call the check-in time. It is now 12:10 and I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face. I really need to get a move on because my appointment is in less than a freaking hour. And so I gotta get this mug finished. So I will be right back. All right, so it is now 12:37. That took me like 20 minutes to do this. This is a tough one. After I set my face, basically made it drier. So what my skin looks like now is very matte, very just dry. It looks so dry. It's not even like dry spots, dry flakes, just my entire face looks like it is so dehydrated, wanting moisture. Like I don't know how else to fix this because I don't want to put setting spray on because I don't do foundation reviews with setting spray. I always leave setting sprays for when I'm not doing reviews because I want to see how long the foundation lasts. But this is just all I can say is that it is very, very dry. And just like I showed you guys earlier, my forehead is just full of freaking texture and it is just, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I have nothing else I can do. So I am going to go to my doctor's appointment, do all the other shit that I got to do, and I will be doing check-in. So I am going to be on my way and I will see you guys in a couple of hours. So it is now 2:20. So I have had this on for 2 hours now and I have to say it looks okay. It doesn't look the best. It is very glowy looking right now. I don't know if you guys can see in this lighting, but it looks very, very glowy. I'm sorry if this is out of focus. I really can't tell because I'm using the back camera on my phone and I'm using a mirror to bounce off the other side so I can actually see if I'm in frame or not. But anyways, you can definitely see that my chin is separating. This always happens though with every foundation, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm seeing a lot more separating around the mouth area. This is my problem, not the foundations, because that's just how my skin was today. But so far, I mean, you can actually see just how dewy and glowy it looks. My mascara is actually running. I don't know why, because this mascara normally doesn't run. but there's a lot of just separating going on around this area, and you can actually really see just how texturized my face is. I am also getting a little bit of separating here on my smile lines, and as you can see, it is not a full coverage foundation. Now my forehead, I still have my two little frown lines, my little creases here, but as you can see, it is very, very texturized. Also, this brow product, not really a fan. It moves around a lot, so definitely don't recommend that. I know I'm not reviewing a brow product, but it is something that I used for the first time today, and I have to say this is not my favorite brow product because my brows are messing up literally as the day goes on, so I'm not liking this brow product. But as for my face, I feel like it's okay for 2 hours, but with it separating already this much after 2 hours, I think that this is definitely going to be one of those foundations that you're going to want to carry a powder with you. I always have my number 7 Perfect Light Press powder with me, so I will check back in a couple of hours. Like I said, it's only been 2 hours and there's already a lot of separating in this area, so I'm not really sure how I feel about this foundation just yet, of course. I'm gonna go run the rest of my errands and I will check in again in a couple of hours. It is now 6:22:23, so I have now been wearing this for 6 hours exactly, and I gotta say it has just, I don't know what's going on with the face right now. It is very shiny, very, it's on the verge of oily looking, but I still feel like this could pass as glowy or dewy. I have a lot of separation going on right now. It is pretty bad. So I'm going to scoot the camera up so you guys can actually see what is going on my face after 6 hours of this foundation. Whew, it is so cold in my room, you guys. Like, I am fucking freezing. It is so cold today. I don't think that has anything to do with the way the foundation wore, but it is just a separating mess. Earlier when I was filming in the car, I believe I mentioned that this whole area was kind of just falling apart, separating, and it is still the same thing. This area has basically rubbed off of my face completely. You can even see like my little acne peeking through. I wasn't touching my face or anything like that today. The only thing I did was take my lipstick off. So I did take a little bit of foundation off here on the side of my lip, but that was just me. Here, I don't know why, but I'm missing a huge patch of foundation. And like I mentioned, that texture below my nose is my skin's fault, not the foundation. So I'm not gonna hold it against the foundation. Around my nose, it's almost like it's melting off. Like not melting off, like melting into my crease, like my nose creases. And it is just, it's just not a cute look. So this is definitely something that you're going to want to set, whether it's setting spray and carrying powder with you. For someone who is as dry as I am and it looks like this dewy or oily or whatever is pretty crazy, because when I first put the foundation on, it just felt so drying. Like I could literally feel just how drying it was. It's almost like a matte foundation, but it was a little worse. Like I don't know how to explain it really. It's just that the formula was really, really dry. Hopefully that makes sense. For the most part, I feel like my skin does look okay. Like I feel like I could go maybe another hour without doing anything to it, but this is not my preference. This is just a little too oily looking for me. Now at this point, like the 6 hour mark, I would have taken out my like setting powder and reset the face. Earlier, I was okay without setting it when I did my first check-in. It's to that point where I can just, you see that? I can just wipe it all off and there it is. It's all over my fingers. So this stuff is like basically coming off my face because of the oil that's kind of been created throughout the day. So my fingers are just kind of full of foundation, and yeah, I'm just kind of over it. When I say that I'm over wearing foundation. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this plenty of times before, but I am just someone who does not wear foundation for very long periods of time. As soon as I get home, I want to take my makeup off, because makeup is not something that you should be wearing like all the fucking time 24/7, because your skin needs to breathe. And because my skin is so problematic already, as soon as I get home, I take everything off. I double cleanse my face, do my skincare, and then whenever it's time for me to get ready for bed and take a shower, I will do it again, because most of the time I come home earlier in the day around like 4 or 5 p.m. and then I don't go to bed until like 12, 1 o'clock at night. So I still have like a good period of time of where I can wash my face again in the shower and apply my skincare. But most of the time I do not wear foundations this long. I actually came home like 2 hours ago and have been dying to take this off because I just hate sitting at home with makeup on. It gets on everything and I'm just ready to take it off. All in all though, I really do like this because it actually looked like skin. It didn't look too cakey. It didn't look too much like foundation. Again, the formula of this is pretty freaking dry, so you really, really want to moisturize and exfoliate your face before you put this on, because if not, you're gonna be struggling really bad. Because even today, I moisturized, I exfoliated, I hella moisturized actually, because I wasn't sure if this is gonna be a formula great for dry skin. So I did all the prep work, but still there were some spots that were a little too texturized, which maybe I didn't exfoliate enough. But ultimately, if you're gonna be using this, I would say exfoliate and moisturize the shit out of your skin, because your skin is going to need it. Alrighty, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please hit a thumbs up and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it on in the comment section below. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.